contestants will draw their topics and be given 10 minutes preparation time. Each contestant should deliver a 2 minutes and 30 seconds speech. We'll have a short ring after 2 minutes, and 2 short rings after 2 minutes and 30 seconds. After 2 minutes and 45 seconds, we will have a long ring. Last, we will have 2 long rings at 3 minutes, which means the contestant should immediately finish their speech. Either less than 2 minutes or over 2 minutes 45 seconds will be deducted scores.
Now let's welcome our first contestant, Alice.
Well, hi, see you again. Okay, so my topic today is how can Taiwanese youth stay competitive amid the wave of globalization? Well, this topic is really troubles me a lot because it is really difficult, but somehow I just pop 3 points just pop out in my head. The first one is Taiwanese people are very, very shy, so we have to be confident. Most of you might know I've stayed in the United Kingdom for my senior high school year, for my senior high school education. And that time really changed me how to be brave, how to be confident. Because I trained myself to order a meal, a very simple meal at McDonald's for just 6 months. I practice in front of my mirror and say, well, hi, I want to order a meal, yeah. So I will always like, all the time, and I was literally shaking in front of the clerk, and the clerk was like, oh, what's happening? I was like, oh, nothing else, I'm just too shy. So I believe that if Taiwanese youth, if we are more confident, it can really change us because we are not too bad, really. We are very smart. Somehow our the Chinese culture really pushes into a really weird place because we kind of like very conservative and we don't know how to express ourselves really successfully. Next point is we have to be creative. But I believe creative, most of the Taiwanese people have worked on this area for a long time. When I walk into the bookstore, most aisle I stay for a long time is the notebooks area. You can see all the notebooks here are really beautiful, and I really like flipping all the pages here. And for me, it's like an art. Every book is an art. And the final one is we have to have a broad heart for every culture. What I mean is we have to seize every moment to contact with foreign people, foreign students. Because of my experience in the United Kingdom, I see how Taiwan is so small. It really changed my, I see more things on the outside, and those people there are really different there. So yeah, that's my 3 points about this topic, and I believe we can do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Now let's welcome our next contestant, Jia Yu.
The question I got for this would be, how can Taiwanese youth stay competitive amid the wave of globalization? How can Taiwanese youth stay competitive amid the wave of globalization? I know that now is the era of globalization and the technology has been rising rapidly, so we can obtain information easily and effectively. So, truthfully, now is the information gathering era, and it makes the youth so lazy in analyzing things, and therefore they won't even analyze things and problems. But I think that in order to stay competitive, we need to focus on what we want to do. So I have 3 letters for solving this problem, and that would be, for example, the first is that we need to be confident in order to stay competitive. Sometimes in order to stay competitive, we don't have the confidence to stay competitive because we have low self-esteem. So we need to become confident, and because now is the information gathering era, we can obtain the way for us to make ourselves confident. Maybe sometimes we need other people to push us, but now we can make ourselves confident by ourselves. We need to search for the way to gain confidence ourselves. And the second letter would be focus. We need to focusing on the way to make us confident. We need to work our way to come to the goal. So we need to focus and we need to work hard to achieve that. And the third one, and the most important one, would be change. We need to change ourselves because this is a globalization era, so we can obtain many information we want, and we can change ourselves. Use every effort to obtain information and absorb them as fast as we can, because the world is also changing in a fast pace. So we can start to think out of the box and obtain many information we can. So use this 3 letters CFC: confident, focus, and change to become a competitive person. Thank you.
恭喜佳瑜。Let's welcome our next contestant.
Wow, I think, don't you think the contest is becoming more exciting?
Yeah, totally. Impromptu speech really requires one's English skill and the ability to think logically, right?
Absolutely. So how about we give all our contestants a big hand again? So please be seated for around a minute so our contestant can be well prepared. Now let's welcome our next contestant, Francis.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable guests, and my fellow classmates. Sorry, my name is Francis Lin, and today my topic would be how can Taiwanese youth stay competitive amid the wave of globalization. And for this topic, I would like to use an example from my club experience. I am joining a club which is called MUN, as someone may hear before and someone don't. And MUN stands for NUN, which stands for Model United Nations. And it is a simulation, it's an educational simulation or an academic, sometimes an academic competition for students to learn about international affairs and public relationships through simulating how United Nations have their meeting. And I would like to introduce 3 top reasons why I think joining this club helps me become more competitive in this globalization wave. The first reason would be I think it can develop leadership skills, because through leadership skills, we have to negotiate with different people and different delegates. And through negotiating leadership skills, I think you can know how to persuade people and how to let them know what values you take that is very important. And the next reason would be that I think you can meet many people through social events. And I think it's pretty important because it's not only for fun, but because in those social events you can build relationships through acting with different people around the world. And I have participated in a month in Beijing, and I think and through that month, I think I met a lot of foreigners, which gave me different perspectives in globalization and in different international affairs. And I think it's really important to have this social connection with people. And the last reason would be that I think that it's, of course, learning about the world is really important too, because you have to know the world trend, and then you can be more competitive to the globalization wave. And in conclusion, I welcome everybody to join MUN as an experience, because it's a very precious experience you can get in a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. Wow, the topic are quite difficult, don't you think?
Yeah, so we can see that our contestants are really qualified, and I hope every one of you enjoyed today's contest. Now let's welcome our next contestant, Andrea.
Hello everybody, I am the fourth speaker. My name is Andrea Liu, and for my topic today, I'm going to talk about how can Taiwanese youth stay competitive amid the wave of globalization. Now I believe there are many answers to this question, out of which my own answer would be to enrich ourselves. Now I know my answer is a bit of a broad conception, so how in particular can we do this? Well, let's start from the basics. Right now we're all students, right? So I think there are three things that we can do as we are students. The first would be grasp every chance to gain knowledge of things worldwide. Go watch the news. Now I'm not talking about the silly news that most Taiwanese channels are reporting. I'm talking about serious issues that are being discussed worldwide. Or we can try travel abroad and experience different cultures, or we can go in exchange students or programs. Like for myself, I have had the chance to go to Xi'an in China this year, and it was a very extraordinary experience to interact with the students there. Now I think the second thing we can do is to learn a foreign language. Now I'm not talking about English, because we all know how important English is and how useful it can be. And it is because of these reasons, English is right now a language that everybody knows, everybody can use. So what makes you different from this everybody? A second foreign language can help you to become a very valuable asset to a company or your dream school. The third thing we can do is to try to practice to express our opinions. Now I know this sounds a bit silly, but under the education of Taiwan, as students, we don't really have the opportunity to speak up in class. So when we are faced in an occasion when others ask us to express our ideas, we actually don't know what to say, or we don't know how to express what we're thinking. So I think as students, we should practice this more. So in conclusion, I think in order to let ourselves become irreplaceable assets under the wave of globalization, we should enrich ourselves more. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.
let's welcome our next contestant, Asmi.
Hello everyone. My topic is how can we stay competitive in the wave of the globalization? And I think that the key point lies is to find our values and know what to do. I think since we are young, we have received many complete and deep educations, like mathematics, science, or Chinese, and we Taiwanese representatives have been very good at the Olympic Games or like this. But just because the deep education, we sometimes lose our instructions and what we like. For example, maybe your parents ask you, well, which one do you like? Maybe you will say, up to you. But I think that to find your ways and know your interest is the most important thing, because if you don't know your interest and if you don't know your goal, how can you stand from the others? How can you devote it into it and become competitive in the world? And I recently read an article from an Harvard student, and he says that he likes the students in Taiwan, but we we don't talk too much. We just write, and he talked out why a question only have one right answer, but we only get used to it, and we don't want to find the other answer. We just stay in the comfort zone. We stand for a long time, and so I think that find our interest and keep our confidence since we are young is very important. So we can stand in the wave of the globalization. This is my topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Asmi.
Now let's welcome our next contestant, Jack.
Well, morning. How can Taiwanese youth stay competitive in the wave of globalization? Well, I believe in Taiwan society, public talks about a lot. We talk about how to make our youth stay competitive, how to be globalized. And then some parents or some elders would suggest that, well, we should learn language, learn English, we should go abroad, go on exchange program, do some voluntary work around the world, or even some other areas in Taiwan. But for me, however, I would like to ask a simple question. When was the last time you actually sat down, read newspapers, read a piece of column, or read some books from great thinkers, talks about philosophy, politics, and finance, all those cornerstones of the world? When? Well, I believe lots of us, we forget this point. We forget the importance of reading. We do not read anymore. We use smartphone, we use social media, we go online, we watch TV show, reality TV show perhaps, but we do not read as much as before. And how can you stay globalized? How can you become a globalized person, if you do not read? So next time, maybe you can grab a book, grab a piece of newspaper, read a column, sit down with a cup of nice coffee, with a tasty slice of cake, read. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. I believe after all those contested speech, we've already learned a lot of different ways to stay confident, right?
Yeah, and there are many different ways to stay competitive. And we all have English ability, so we are already competent against globalization. Yeah.
Now let's welcome our next contestant, Carlos.
Hi, I'm Carlos. I think there are many ways to stay competitive amid the wave of globalization. And I think traveling abroad is one of the best way. But I think if you don't have money to travel abroad, the department of FLL train us very well. So students in our department can stay competitive in every circumstance. For example, the speech class, it teaches us the ability to be confident to the audience and improve our speaking skills. And I think that is very important because Taiwanese students, the biggest problem of Taiwanese students is they are too shy to express their feeling and their opinions. So I think the speech class really improved this point. So if you want to stay competitive, pay attention to Professor Zhou and Professor Chen. Thank you.
Thank you for your sharing, Carlos.
Catherine, I think our judges and teachers really want us to know how to stay confident.
Let's welcome our next contestant, Mac.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So today my topic is how can Taiwanese youth stay competitive amid the wave of globalization? So thanks to globalization, we live in the world of changes. Anything can happen in any minute. So for that, as a teenager, how can we survive in the amid the huge wave of globalization? I want to present 3 points. The first one is to keep your eye on the globe. So thanks to the convenience of internet, we get to keep ourselves updated with the latest results that are happening around the world. So for example, in the US presidential election, we get to know that the latest information about who is winning or who is losing. So we need to really keep an eye on the international news so that we can cultivate a sense of international point of view and really know that what's going on with the world right now. And secondly, we can keep your mind open to anything because in order to stay competitive, you need to be able to adjust yourself into new situations happen, to new information, so that we can be more competitive amid the waves of globalization. Because by doing that, as teenagers, we can adjust ourselves and then be more confident and then to maybe educate ourselves with more information or something. And the third one is the most important is to keep your heart beating for your passion or for your dreams. Because this is a world, this is a society full of changes, so we can get affected easily by anything that happened outside the world. So if you're really focused on your own path and really know what you're doing and what you want to do, that way that you can stay passionate and even stay competitive up to any challenges. So you need to prepare yourself to stay ready. So you stay ready, you don't get ready. So that anything happens, you are ready to go for it. So I want to quote one Grammy-winning singer, and his name is Carlos Santana. So he said that in the future there will be no borders, no boundaries, no flags or countries around the world. There will be the only passport will be the heart. And so that as teenagers, we think we need to keep our heart true, so that we can survive the globalization. Thanks.
Thank you, Mac.
Good morning, everyone. Right now, everyone sitting right here are our junior students, and we might sometimes be confused about what we are going to do in the future. Are we competitive enough? And are we really have the so-called international outlook? So today I'm here trying to tell everyone 3 ways that you can stay competitive amid the wave of globalization. First, read more global news. In Taiwan, there are many media that is about violence, about entertainment and crime, and that is not going to help us. So what we need is more global news from the New York Times, The Economist, and the Bloomberg, and in Taiwan there is also the News Lens, an independent media that help us to know more about the global trend and to stay competitive. Second, visit more countries. If you have enough budget, visit as many countries as you can. In my opinion, I have once went to the Australian Open in Melbourne, and I do feel like right there I could feel a lot of different kind of culture, different kind of lifestyle right there, and it really gives me the motivation to try to work there. So when you go outside, when you go to a different country, there is always a motivation for you to really stay competitive and try to be like those outstanding person. And the last is that the last one is to join Model United Nations Club. I am a member of Model United Nations, and I do feel like in Model United Nations, every time you can really know an international issue, pretending that you are a diplomat, and to really know every country's stance in this issue. So you can really learn a lot about all the international issues and really stay competitive, enhancing your critical thinking and your English ability. So with all these 3 ways, read more global news, visit other countries, and joining Model United Nations, you could stay competitive, and just as what Abraham Lincoln once said, always bear in mind that your own resolution to success is more important than any others. Thank you.
Thank you. So does anyone want to share about how to stay competitive as globalization? Andy?
Wow, so I think everyone is really shy. I think among all the contestants' speech, I think that the really important thing is that we have to know what we want so that we can devote ourselves into doing what we like. And it is really important that all of us should have passion to do everything. And also, I think that traveling is a really good way to keep ourselves competitive. As a Chinese proverb has says, 读万卷书不如行万里路. You have to, absolutely you need to read tons, millions of books, but also traveling around the world is also the good way that keeps you intelligent.
Seeing believing.
Seeing is believing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Both. So.
Stephanie, I think you are able to stay here.
We're kind of nervous as the competitors next door. Let's give our big hand to our last contestant, Coco.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Coco, and today I'm going to give a speech about how can Taiwanese youth stay competitive amid the wave of globalization. Now, I will offer 3 points as I am still a youth, and these are just my perspectives. I will break them down into B, B, C. Now, the first B is belief. I think you should find a core belief, something you strongly believe in, and if you find a belief, you'll be able to find your passion. For belief, I am going to give you some examples, like Martin Luther King. He believed that black people and white people should have the same rights, and he believed that all colors of children should be able to sit together. That's what made him such a successful activist in human rights. And such as Malala. Malala believed that education could change the world, so she wasn't afraid to risk her life. She was willing to risk her life to tell the whole world that education is important to girls and to everyone around the world. And such as Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was the first black player to play in the Major Baseball League. And he also believed that everyone should be able to play baseball, so that's easy. So a belief is very important. Next one is believe. Believe in yourself. Believe and acknowledge the fact that you do have the skills and you do have the strength to attain your dreams and goals. I think that in Taiwanese youth, a huge problem is that people don't believe in themselves. They have a lot of potential, they have a lot of ability, and they are competent to manage and finish things, but they don't believe in themselves. So this is also a very crucial quality that youth should have, believing in themselves. The next one is C. C meaning critical thinking. We now have information at the tips of our fingertips and maybe a touch of a screen. We can find anything we want. But the essential point is that we need to know where this information comes from, and we need to be able to analyze it and to sort of make it into our own and to make it comprehensive. So that's why I think these points are very important. BBC, believe, and critical thinking. So that's my advice for the youth of Taiwan. Thank you, everyone.
And this is all for our today's impromptu speech, and let's give a big hand to all the contestants today.